Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, we are back. Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. My name is David Dodge. I am your host. My co-host Mike is out on an appointment today. I have a special guest. I have been following this individual on social media. We have chatted several times online, but I have not had the chance to interview him yet until today. So I'm super excited to have him. I'm going to screw his name up, but I'll try my best. Haim Mamane.
You got it.
Did I say it right? All right. Yeah. That's what's up. My man Haim, the virtual wholesaler guy. And I've been tracking Haim since I got in this business full time. So it's probably been 5 years, I would say, since I, started seeing him online. And, after a year or two, we started chit-chatting back and forth. And now it's like everything I see you do, I'm like, man, that's awesome. You're killing it in the game. Keep it up. It's great. So I'm one of your biggest fans, my man. I'm happy to have you on the show, and I'm grateful for you. How are you today?
Very good. I'm excited to be here. I also have been following you and your partner a lot. I love the Monopoly cards that you have in your office.
I love it.
Big fan, and I'm excited to be here and hopefully share some nuggets with your audience.
Hell yeah. So, Haim, so many things I want to discuss with you. So you are the virtual wholesaler guy, and that's basically what I have known you as since I started following you. You have built a cool brand out of that. However, before we jumped on, and then this is a no holds bar, type of a podcast, but before we jumped on, you were saying that you transitioned. So I want to talk about that on the show because,
sure.
Lately when I've been seeing your posts, you're doing some really, really awesome fix and flips, and it's fun to follow you and watch you because you're in your projects and you see the transformation from week to week in it, and it's just really, really cool. So let's talk about A, the virtual wholesaler guy, and B, the new and improved Haim 2.0 and how you've kind of pivoted.
Hey, listen, it's a great because it's very applicable to where we are at today, right? I think the game of this business is adjust and pivot. And I've been adjusting and pivoting throughout my not too, long real estate career. And it depends on your goal and what you want to do. So yes, I was a 9-to-5 employee. And what got me out of the 9-to-5 job is doing virtual wholesaling deals in Memphis, Tennessee, and other markets. But I built something.
And you hold on real quick. You live in San Francisco now?
Yes, I'm in San Francisco, California right now.
And you've been there since you started, right?
Yes.
So you've always lived there, but you have only recently decided, it sounds like, to kind of do some investing there. But prior, when I first, started following you and was introduced to you, you were all virtual. I just want to make sure I'm on at the same timeline.
Correct.
Cool,
so again, maybe just a short overview of my journey. So I was a 9-to-5 employee, hate it, want to get out of the 9-to-5 job, start to read, listening to podcasts, buying $97 courses, $297 courses, and just starting to take actions and started to buy rentals actually while working in 9-to-5 jobs. But after buying 5 rentals, I did the calculation and it told me again, okay, I need 30 more before I can quit this job that I have. So
I know,
that's
right?
the first pivot that I did, buying rentals based on my current goal that back then was to quit my 9-to-5 job was not the right strategy. So that was the first adjust and pivot mode, which was to start to do virtual wholesaling. I need to get some checks so I can replace my 9-to-5 jobs, so I can quit my job. So that's what I will start to do. Just wholesaling while having a 9-to-5 job as a hustle side gig, doing one deal per month, getting $5,000 check, $4,000 checks, $10,000 checks, until I was kind of doing consistently 2 deals a month. And I was making more on my side gig more than my 9-to-5 job. And this was when I was decided to quit my 9-to-5 job and go all in. And I built
And how long ago was that?
This was my Independence Day. It's September 30th, 2015. We celebrated here in
the man. You got the day. That's the coolest thing ever.
We celebrate here in my family. It's a big deal. It's my Independence Day. This is when daddy's home all the time. That's when we can travel all the time, because that's what its life is all about. For me, at least, it's a lifestyle business.
And I love it. Man. I love seeing your posts all over the world in different cool places with your family. Your message is my favorite. It stands true. I love to travel too. So when I see you guys out in different places, you know, I don't have a jealous bone in my body. It's a grateful feeling for you that you get to go do those things. I'm like, man, that's great. I love it. So keep doing it. Keep those posts coming, man. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, that's my why. I want to travel. Again, my guiding principle is make more, work less, so you can play more. So that's kind of what I quit my 9-to-5 job. I went all in. I started to hire acquisition people. I had a lead manager, 2 virtual assistants, disposition people, 7 people doing 5 to 7 deals a month. And morning meeting. I'm sure you follow, Traction, the Traction model. I did a Monday morning meeting, tracking KPI. I was traveling with my family in Santorini, Greece. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just dealing with bullshit, with team bullshit, hiring, firing, motivating, people dropping the ball. And I found myself saying, again, I'm in Santorini, Greece, and I hate what I do. I'm not present with my family. I'm traveling in the best place, probably one of the top best places in the world, and I'm jet lagged. I'm not present. I'm on my phone, and I'm just unhappy person. And that was another adjust and pivot mode moment. I need to do less deals with the bigger profit margins, and this is when the decision was made in the end of 2017. That I built, and I need to shift to a model that it's low volume, big spread, and I can do it in my own backyard in San Francisco, California. And since of the beginning of 2018, I'm doing again 6 to 7 deals a year, but each deal with big profit margins. And this is again what you see on social media recently. When I kind of taking people through a transformation of a property in San Francisco, how we turning an ugly house to a beautiful house. But again, there is a lot of profit margin in these deals, at least up to 4 weeks ago. So that's kind of my journey. So right now, I think this is another adjust and pivot moment. I may go back to doing virtual deals if this situation continue, because it's all about adapting to a new reality. And I think we're in a new reality. Today is the new normal.
Man, I totally agree. I love that you are open-minded to the fact that we have to pivot, and you called it. That's awesome. The market is going to change, and we have to change with the market to be able to make profits and do deals. So I think that's the coolest thing ever. So let's back up. Whenever you were doing your virtual, were you just in 1 or 2 markets? How'd you find those markets, and how long were you doing deals in those markets?
So I was going to cash flow markets. My main market was Memphis, Tennessee, and then I was a little bit in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Little Rock, Arkansas, and that was the main markets again, because the it was, I don't want to say easier, but it's not as hard to find a deal in cash flow markets than here in the Bay Area. When again in San Francisco, the median price point is $1.7 million.
Damn, the
Just to give you,
median?
the median price point.
That's high.
So again, so I'm not saying there are not motivated sellers here, because there are motivated sellers in every market. But when you are sitting on $1 million property, the type of motivation that you have is different than somebody that owns a $30,000 rental in Memphis, Tennessee, or St. Louis, or Kansas City. So it just also, if you start to do marketing, your marketing dollars go further in this type of markets compared to San Francisco, Miami, LA, when again, I was just mailing and I got nothing. I was sending like 3,000 mailers and got maybe 3 leads. And out of 3 leads, the people want over retail because again, they knew that they were sitting on a lot of equity.
Yeah,
so
they weren't as interested in parting
this
with
market.
it. Hell yeah, no, it totally makes sense. So let's talk about the process of virtual wholesaling. So how long did you do it on your own before you hired a team, or did you hire a team right away? What did that team look like?
No, from 2013 until 2015, I was doing it on my own while working a 9-to-5 job, doing a deal or 2 per month. And back in 2013, most of my deals came from the MLS. I developed a system with virtual assistant that just blasted offers, like 200 offers per week. And it was a numbers game. So every 200 offers, I got a deal accepted. So this was back then. Now you can find deals on the MLS as well, but probably in the marginal markets, not in the big cities. Again, if like in the secondary markets, I think there are still deals to be made off the MLS. But this is back then. This is what I was doing. Just had a team I had 2 virtual assistants, and they just blasting offers on MLS properties.
Very cool. Very cool. So did you ever transition into off-market properties?
Yes. So then again, I had some money to reinvest into paid marketing channels. So I developed a driving for dollar systems when I had multiple drivers in each city driving for dollars and building a list.
Cool. That's awesome. I love it.
And again, it was cool because you can still build a system of drivers that generating driving for dollar leads in virtual markets. And I'm sure you know that the best list that it's ever, at least for me, performed better, it's always been the driving for dollar list. So that was my focus initially. And then I was again starting to buying lists, like again most other wholesalers and investors do. You know, the absentee list, the high equity, the divorce list, the inheritance list, the eviction list, all of these lists, and started to mail. I was always a big proponent of people calling me, not be the one that initiate the call. So like more like pull marketing as opposed to push marketing. Because the quality of the leads is better, in my opinion. When somebody calls you, you have a much better negotiation position.
Oh yeah,
positioning
absolutely.
Overall.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. I think mailers and driving for dollars was my main source of leads, and also realtors that I closed in the past. They got both sides of the commission, so I was their best buyers ever. So they kept bringing me off-market listings when they had pocket listings. So I was able to keep generating referrals, leads, and close more deals.
It's awesome how that works. You start doing some business with some people, and then all of a sudden they start giving you more business, right?
Especially if you make their job easier, and they making more money with you than going the traditional way, which this is kind of what helped me getting deals even in a super competitive market with realtors. Because right now I'm doing 7 deals a year. I don't need a big marketing machine to generate leads. So I'm working with realtors and I'm buying from wholesalers. That's my two main lead generation system today in San Francisco. And it's always about how they can make money with me and how I can make their job easier. That's
Right.
kind of what get me into the door.
Man, I absolutely love it. So what was the transition that you took, or why did you go from one market to, it sounded like 3 or 4? Was it just you weren't having enough luck in one of those markets, or did you always have the goal to just kind of hit multiple markets when you were doing it virtual?
No. Again, it was me trying to compare myself to others, trying to do what other people in my masterminds are doing. And I was just following the wrong track. Again, I thought that scaling, everybody loves the word scaling right now, right? How to scale, how to do more. And it was against my goals, my DNA. I wanted to make more by working less. But when you scale, I think, again, there's more pieces to the puzzle. Again, you need to manage, you need to train, you need to fire, you need to motivate, you need to track. There's just more moving pieces. And I build, again, a machine that did not make me happy. And I did it because others people around me, that's what equates success. And only when I decided to follow my own track, follow my own journey, I had to shift and shut down the scaling mode and do more by working less deals, but more. Each deal has to be a much bigger deal.
Haim, I love it. So that's the motto: make more, work less, so you can play more, right?
That's my guiding principles.
Man,
That's
that
it.
is awesome. So there's so many good gold nuggets and lessons here, guys. You know, you don't have to necessarily scale to be more successful. Like, how do you define success first and foremost, right?
Absolutely. That's a key question.
Second, every deal is going to have a value. So I love the approach of, hey, let's just go for the best deals, like the good ones. And then we don't have to chase all these people around for these shitty ones or these okay ones. Let's just look for the good ones. It'll allow us to work less, travel more, so we can essentially make more to do all that. I love it, man. Very, very, very cool. Let's talk about the team today. Do you have anybody on the team, or is it just Haim?
There's me and a partner. That's
you and
it.
A partner. Okay.
Me and a partner, and he's a strategic partner. Again, when I started, I was doing it alone, like fix and flip in the Bay Area alone for a year. But then again, it was I was managing the contractor. I was just going every week, almost every day, had to go to the site to make sure everything is done. I need to write checks. I need to, and I realized that A, I don't like to do it. And B, it's not my strong suit. It's not my best skill set.
Right person, right seat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a hunter. I like the deals. I like to structure a deal. I like to negotiate. I like to be out there and, again, meet with realtors. I do not like to put together a scope of work. I don't like to work with contractors and manage progress and cut checks. So my partner is complete me perfectly. He's an architect. He's a detail-oriented guy. So he managed the crews. He knows how to pull permits. He knows how to run a budget with contractors. He knows how to manage contractors. He does a much better job than I do. And the key terms here is a big nuggets. The return, not the return on money. It's
You're cutting out. Say that last part again. You cut out on me.
Now,
can you go back about 10 seconds?
It's the return on time. It's super important, not the return on investment.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I 100%
return on time
agree.
is huge when you have the right partner. That, again, you can do more and you can do better job by having the right partner. So
yes,
that's
totally agree. So that's cool, man. So you keep it simple.
Yes.
How big was your team? So that's now. Let's talk about, when you were in multiple markets, because it sounds to me like, you woke up and had an epiphany at some point and were just like, man, why am I doing all this? I'm probably really stressed out. Yeah, I might have a big gross number, but my net number isn't. And I'm just making assumptions here, but that's how most people get to that point. I'm scaling back my own business at this point just because of that. Like, yeah, making 50 grand in a month every month is awesome. But if your expenses are 48, your take home is 2. Right. I mean, it matters. The gross numbers and the net numbers are what's important when you're comparing them. The net is really what matters. So you got one other guy. It's Haim plus one now. But before, you had to have a team of people, an army of people, right?
Right. So I had an acquisition guy in each market. So I have a guy in Memphis, I had a guy in Little Rock, and I had a guy in New Orleans. So I had 3 acquisition guys. And I had a lead manager that took all the incoming calls, and she was scheduling the appointments to each acquisition guy on the ground.
So one lead manager for all 3 markets, and then an acquisition guy on the ground. So that's 4. Okay.
Correct. I had 2 virtual assistants in the Philippines, 2 brothers doing on lead generation and repeated tasks and posting
follow
on
up, outbound calling, all that stuff.
The detailed type task, and I had a disposition guy that kind of disposing and selling the deals to others. So that's kind of was my team and myself.
7 plus you, so that's 8.
Yeah,
that's 9, 8, 9. 8.
I think it was 7.
8.
I think it was.
7 plus 1 you, so that's 8 though. So wow, man, that's crazy, right? Isn't that nuts? So you went from 8 to 2.
Yes. And 2 is a partner. He's not an employee. He's a different mindset.
And that's a different mindset there too, man. I think that's awesome, Haim. Yeah. Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. What are you working on right this second, man? What's on the table?
Right now, again, we have a project that we are finishing up, and we plan to bring it on the market in the next 2 weeks or so. We don't know how this situation will impact our exit price. We hope that it's not going to impact us too badly. But right now, again, I planning a big move, probably personally. I may go back to Israel to live with my family because, again, family is, it's my number one. My parents and my extended family and my wife's family, they are all in Israel. And we want to be with them. We miss them.
Totally. 20 years. I think that's great. Yeah.
20 years it's been that I'll be here. So I have to pivot again. It will be another adjust and pivot mode. I may go back to do virtual deals in virtual markets. And I think one big piece that we didn't touch on, I think you're going to appreciate, is the passive side of the business, right? So everything all the profit that I make, whether it was wholesaling or now in the big flips that I do, I push to acquire assets that generate income. So it's either buying rentals in markets like St. Louis, Kansas City, Memphis, and doing a lot of private money loans to experienced investors in this market. Actually, one of my biggest borrower does deals in St. Louis and Kansas City.
Nice.
So that's kind of what's helped me, again, get the profit and just park it to put it to work by buying assets that generate income, whether it's private money loans or rentals.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I absolutely love that. And, I'm very comparable because in my business, my focus isn't on more income. It's on more wealth. That's really the name of the game. So like I love wholesaling. I love landlording, and I love fix and flip. I have a free course on wholesaling. I wrote a book with my partner, Mike, on wholesaling. But to us, wholesaling is a job, and we are fully aware of that. Now, we love it. I even like going on appointments and walking through houses and negotiating face-to-face. That's actually one of my favorite things about wholesaling. I get a rush from doing that. I don't know why, but I just like doing it. And I hate sitting and being at home or in an office, like being on the road. And it's to me, that's cool, right? But it's a job, right?
Yeah.
It's a means to an end.
100%.
So what we do is we just market direct to motivated sellers so we can find our own rental properties and our own fix and flip. So, right now we got our 64th rental online this morning. I don't know if you saw my Instagram a couple hours ago. We got our 64th online. We typically have, 5 to 10, maybe 12 flips going or rehabs going. Some of those are rental rehabs, but others are fix and flips. And then we wholesale anywhere from, on a bad month, 5, and on a great month, 12 to 14. Nice. But it's always keep the best, right? That's always the mindset. Every appointment that I go on or my team goes on, it's for me and my team to buy, not to wholesale. It's keep the best, sell the rest. So I encourage everybody to start real estate investing via wholesale, because you don't need a ton of money, and the lessons that you can learn from it will carry through tenfold on these other types of investing that you would do with, landlording or fix and flip, so on and so forth. And I think that you could agree with that,
Wholesaling is the foundation. It's the foundation. It's the foundation. Generating leads and closing deals. That's it. That's the foundation to any way you're gonna continue to go to this business. You have to find the deal and generating the lead, and you have to close the deal and know how to negotiate.
Absolutely. And even on rehabs, like when people go over rehab, I've done it 10 times, right? Go over your budget.
Yeah.
I've had projects where I've doubled it on 6-figure projects where you're just like, whoa, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you only lose if you bought it for too much. Like that's all that matters. You make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. That's the Discount Property Investor slogan.
Yeah.
Make your money when you buy. I'm going to say it again. You get paid when you sell, but you make it on the buy. And that's where wholesaling comes in. It teaches you to make offers at 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar sometimes. And the coolest thing is when I make an offer at 30, 40 cents on the dollar, it's because I don't even want it. Literally, like if they say yes, it's going to almost be a pain in the butt to then go do it. But sometimes those deals are the ones where you can make 30 or 40 grand. And it's like, wow, how did they even accept that offer? It's just really, truly amazing. So I think it's awesome. Haim, thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it. So Haim's motto, guys, make more, work less, so you can play more. And if you aren't aware of Haim, go follow him right now on social media. I love following him. Haim, what's the handles for Instagram, Facebook? How did somebody find you?
So on Facebook, it's my Facebook page is The Virtual Wholesaler Guy. That's the best place to find me. Again, I share a lot of
Wholesaler
tips.
Guy.
Yeah, and on Instagram, I think it's at Haim Mamane. I can send you so you can share it with you.
Let's spell it out. Haime.
It's Haim, another M, Palman, Palman.
Palman. Awesome. Guys, check Haim out. I love seeing his posts. He is all about living that lifestyle, right? It's what everybody desires. Everybody gets into real estate because they want freedom. And this is the truth, right? This is why I got into real estate, because I wanted freedom. And what you soon find is that you have zero freedom because you are always trying to scale and do more. And it's not necessarily about making more, right? Typically it is, but it's not always. But Haim has figured out that you don't have to do more. Sometimes you can do less, and you can actually truly achieve the freedom that most people are seeking. Haim, my hat is off to you, brother. Thank you for coming on the show. I am grateful for your time. And as always, it is a pleasure to talk and chat with you, my man.
Thank you, my man. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll stay in touch.
You got it, guys. Until next time, I appreciate you listening. Go check out Haim on social. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, please visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support, and remember, you make your money when you buy, and you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.